What's up? So a bit Spursy listener. My name's Barney.
And I'm Dan.
And we won a game. That's, for anyone not from Australia, that's how we actually sound.
Yeah, these are our professional voices that we put on.
Mm-hmm. We actually sound like this. Ange has done a great job of pretending he doesn't have that voice.
Yeah, Ange also sounds like a lizard.
Yeah.
When you catch him off guard.
Yeah. Yeah, if you scare him, he goes, oi! Like that.
We're going to get in the next All or Nothing when they come back, and you'll just hear that around the training ground. Oi, Sonny! Oi!
Like, what the hell? Yep. It's true. It's 100% true. Yeah. So we had a great win. Unbelievable win. Just the most perfect win.
Yeah.
It was, but first piece of agenda that I want to get off the agenda is this. Dan, this is a surprise for you. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just going to be showing this. I'll show it to the camera. Exhibit A. For those listeners at home, I've printed out a screenshot of Dan Thomas cheating on me. Who the hell are these guys?
Hey, don't you have to worry about them. Just some guys.
Who's it? Who the hell?
Just some guys on the internet. Don't worry about it.
Oh, look,
fine.
Everyone's laughing and smiling.
No, we had a really bad time. It was really... don't worry, Barney.
What?
Don't worry. I love you, so Spurs.
What are you doing on there? Talking about me? Talking about what? What are you talking about?
The whole episode was about you.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
I have to go and listen.
So it's some very nice things were said about you there, Barney.
What?
Whilst cheating.
Huh?
The thing I'm most impressed by is the fact that you have access to a printer.
Yep.
Too.
I bought one. I bought a printer. Look
That's
at
like
that.
$15 worth of ink to print that.
It's a lot of ink. It's a lot of ink. Yep. So you're just gallivanting around. Are you going on other podcasts? Ones like Oh So Spurs.
Yeah. It might happen from time to time.
Season 2, episode 10. How many episodes have you done with them?
That was the first of
Well, you've got a contract with them. Oh, my God.
This is my last episode of A Bit Spursy.
Yeah, wow, really?
Yeah.
I thought I'd find out like this. Well, guess what? I'm going on Joe Rogan next week. Yeah.
I mean, please.
Yeah.
If you want to get us some listeners come through.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I would love to see you on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? He'd be like, so Spurs, is that the name of the... Can we look that up? Is it called Spurs? And I'd be like, yes. That's crazy. Spurs, that's like... What is that?
Does that like control your mind?
Yeah. Anyway, I think you seem like you had the vaccine. What?
It's just the most meandering episode.
Yeah,
They've gone through every single guest in the world.
Yeah, it's like, shit, we'll get this guy. So yeah, that's first item. The agenda.
I apologize, Barney. I apologize. But sometimes my voice wanders.
Yeah, wow. You just wait. I'm going to get on the best Spurs podcast of all time.
Our one?
Yeah, I'm already there. That's right. Anyway, we won.
I was going to say, by the way, you have a hall pass for me to get on the best Spurs podcast of all time.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Yeah.
See, I have a different feeling about our relationship.
You want an open relationship.
I embrace the openness.
I'm monogamous. I'm strictly monogamous. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholically monogamous.
That would explain the giant cross in your pocket.
Yeah. Got to have it on me. Don't always want to show it.
But you know it's there.
Exactly.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. And when people betray me, it gets hot.
Yeah.
And that reminds me. It shows. I go, wait, someone's betraying me right now. And let me tell you, on that night, it'd burn a hole in my leg.
Look, send me the bill.
Yeah, all right.
And I'll pass it on to the rest of the new crew. And we can
the
fix
new crew.
it up.
What, you all got special nicknames for each other?
Yeah, we do, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Yeah.
What's yours?
They call me Davis.
Davis. Why do they call you Davis?
Because they misheard my name.
Right. Okay. And what? Have you corrected them or?
No, I just got to go with it.
Right. So it's more that they've just. What are their nicknames?
Yeah, Jimmy.
That's an actual name, I'm assuming.
His actual name.
Yeah. Right.
Jimmy, Stewie, Sai.
Right.
Yeah, Johnny.
Right, okay. Are any of these there? Well, are you just listing generic men's names?
No, they are, but I'm also pretty sure they were all the people on it. So.
Great. Okay, cool. Sounds like a great crew. Dangerous Knights crew. I've heard you guys call yourselves.
That's what we are called now, the Dangerous Knights. I'm sorry, Barney. I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
But after such a great Spurs game.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. Can I say I never, in watching this game, I don't, I'm not one of those people that doesn't, like I yell when I'm watching the game, especially if we score or whatever. But this game, when the second goal went in, like this, I think maybe the first time this has ever happened, like I properly teared up. And I had been at a friend's birthday, so I had like a couple of beers, and so
okay. I was saying it was quite an emotional birthday. Or something
No, I think, I was very tired, and I think it all came together. But it was a beautiful moment.
I think it warrants a tear.
Yeah,
like I wish that I teared, but I went into that like probably just pre-tear, just speechless. No sound was coming out. Like when that second goal went in, I was just like frozen almost in time, where I could not believe that this had happened.
Yeah.
It was
unbelievable. But my main emotion was like, I'm so proud of Ange.
Go up.
Yeah. Cool. Kulusevski scored. It was great. Richarlison assisted. That was awesome. But I'm so proud of my Ange. My big Ange.
We have very much taken ownership of Ange.
Yeah.
I think that whenever there is that feeling of because of us in Australia. That's That's why you're getting this celebration of good results right now.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen more football content that's sort of spontaneously bumping into that kind of content, nor Spurs content on Australian media than since Ange. And there is a part of me that's like, I was here first. Not about Ange, but about the people being interested, which is insane.
I understand. It's I was listening since their first time. I was listening since their first mixtape.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So you jumped on board now that they've released Sex is on Fire, huh? But yeah, it was phenomenal. What a rush.
Yeah. And also to happen, I think, after a game which was so frustrating beforehand and frustrating not even in pure footballing terms.
Yeah.
Because if they had just played a low block, but there was no funny business and they'd scored a goal in the break and we were struggling to break them down, it'd be irritating, but not pure frustration that I felt due to the refereeing, the calls, the non-penalties, the exceptional time wasting.
Yeah.
It really just felt as we were approaching 90 minutes, I was like, this cannot happen.
Yeah.
This isn't right.
Yeah.
This is not right. And I'm fine with us losing to a team if they come with some tactics prepared and they do it. But when it's non-football ones like this, it's just no, this should be not allowed.
Yeah. And it felt, because of all that build up and frustration and sort of everything that felt everything was going against us and unfairly so. And then we break through and overcome it. It was football won. Yeah. Not just Spurs, football won today.
Yeah. That's what your tier was actually for. It was for football winning.
Football won. Yeah. But I on this, I honestly was in shock at how bad the refereeing was. I don't understand how, say, that Maddison penalty doesn't get given, and how does it not go? I suppose it would have been something to do with clear and obvious error. No, it would have gone to VAR.
Yeah, but I think the commentator said at the time something about the bar has been raised for clear and obvious error, so it has to be more of an error? Now in order for them to overturn it.
Yeah, right.
But I don't see how you can look at that and go, oh, you know what? Not a huge error.
Yeah,
just a little error.
Yeah.
I guess we won't correct the ref.
Yeah. And how do you... It's it's got to be an error that's whoa, he's really fucked it. Where does the... Is it...
I just pictured Tim Robinson. Oh,
God. But Like, if it's an error, but it's like, I think he stuffed that up. That doesn't quite hit the bar, though, so I'm going to do nothing about it.
Yeah, it's like, I want to press the button and patch through to the ref to tell him to check it out.
Yeah.
But then someone's over the shoulder like, well, but is it that much of an error?
Yeah, how big an error
How big an error? David, look at the board.
Yeah.
Look at the error scale.
Yeah.
Let's spin the wheel.
Mm-hmm. Now, what can you see there on the wheel? Now, look at that. Leaving your shopping on the roof of the car. Okay, it's an error, but it's not the end of the world.
It's not clear and obvious.
And the bag, as you can see in the bag, it's just cheap items. So
the supervisor's just getting all of the errors they've made in their life.
Yeah.
To try and just get some empathy for them.
This is when I was meant to propose to my then partner, and she was clearly waiting for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I chickened out.
Well, you can see Mount Fuji in the background.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Uh-huh.
But is that a clear and obvious error?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, at the time, I didn't realise. Are you okay, sir? I'm going to go home. I'm like, ooh.
This is actually very similar to my life because my wife and I were in Japan.
Yeah.
And we... I don't know why I thought this would be a surprise, but I was like, we're going out. It's going to be a surprise. We're going to go somewhere. And we went on this bus and train and whatnot and went up to the viewing point where we could see like Mount Fuji.
Wow. Yep.
And it was great. And Melee told me, she was like, I thought you were going to propose there. And I was getting very excited. What that was for me was a stop off, because then we go down the other side of the hill and we got to watch a J-League game, Shimizu S-Pulse. And I think I just looked up a line and got like, it's a very like picturesque stadium because it's a small stadium, but you've got Fuji in the background. It's like, there's like these lovely hills and stuff around it. And for some reason, it just never occurred to me what I might have been setting up for Mayor at the time. But I was just like, how cool is Shimizu S-Pulse? We're going to go watch this, cool, right?
God, I'm totally like, if I'm in London with my partner, I'm going to be like, I've got a surprise for you. And it'll be, like sun is just setting some, I can't think of some beautiful place in London. With some beautifully.
Park, not Hampton Park? There's Hampton Park? There's a nice, lovely park there.
Yeah. Sun-setting picnic. It's like, oh, wow, this is, really nice. And then I'm like, we're going to go. Spurs are starting in 20 minutes.
We're going to get to N17.
N17, baby. Yeah, that is very funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? The ref.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
The nightmare.
I'd kill him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't kill him.
Well, it's like, it's just, what I'm baffled by is I just really don't understand how VAR is operating in this sense. So there was a video that Premier League put out at the start of this season of their fancy new VAR ref headquarters.
Oh, God.
And they've got like a VAR like recovery room, which is like a gym area. And I'm like, do people just go and get a little finger massage? Like, what do they need to recover from? But then it shows like all these high tech like computers, and it looks like this like cool like gaming loft sort of thing. And you're just like, all right, they're upping all the technology here. Yet the calls are just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And it seems like VR are doing less.
Yeah, that doesn't make any recovery room. So it's like a gym.
Yeah, it says VAR recovery room.
And in there's like weights and
yeah.
Yeah, right, okay. So what, maybe you're mentally fatigued and then you go in there to get physically fatigued.
Yeah, afterwards.
To balance yourself out.
To bring it down. Which is, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
It's like we keep hearing of things like improving and taking steps to do that, but it just gets like worse and worse.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the Madison, which is the main thing we were talking about here. It's like, how? How is that not? That's a penalty every day of the week. Even Arsenal fans will look at that and go, that's a penalty.
Yeah. It's bizarre. The refereeing across this game was bizarre. Like there should have been... it's funny that, there was so much extra time which ended up benefiting us, but the ref should have been more in control of the game earlier to quash some of that time wasting so that it wasn't so apparent. Or, just, I felt like he wasn't really watching, or... Yeah, it was bizarre.
Well, the time wasting, it really affects the flow of the game, even if the time gets added on. But like from the first half, we only got 3 minutes added on. And I think Ange talks about his subs and making them late. And he's like, he thought there would be quite a lot of time added, but then he was also a bit worried because there were only 3 minutes that got added to the first half.
Yeah.
But that seems really inconsistent. But even if you're adding time on, and overall we had 15 minutes extra from both halves added on, you're still affecting the flow of the game by stopping, time wasting, all that. So I don't think it's quite a fair trade-off to just go like, all right, all the time wasting, come on, get a move on. Well, we'll just add it on at the end because it just destroys the flow of everything else.
Yeah. And the fact that they did finally get a second yellow at the very end felt like, especially after those 2 goals, divine justice. You're like, thank God someone is being punished. You rats!
It was interesting after the game, the Paul Heckingbottom.
Yes. And hecking bottom he did. His bottom was heck.
That's all Sheffield fans looking, going like, hecking bottom he did. I don't even know what that means. So
neither do I.
But he was complaining about the refs not knowing what they're doing, the refs ruining the game. They become obsessed with time wasting, haven't got a clue, not a clue. So I agree on the first bit of the refs are ruining the game, they're killing it in some way. But then his whole rationale is completely flawed and incorrect. Yeah. Because he was arguing with it and going like, well, what happens is Wes is going to take the kick in. Spurs have then worked out that we want to play short, so Spurs are now pressing us, so now we have to adjust. And so Wes needs time to adjust to then kick it. And then the refs were going like, if you don't know what to do, just kick it long. And you can't have the refs telling us how to play the game. And it's just like, football doesn't work that like, if the keeper's option is cut off, he can just then take more time and you've got to allow him to find another option. Yeah,
that's
It
bananas.
makes no sense.
That's just bad tactics.
Yeah.
If you're relying on something that's like being quashed every single time, and then it's like, what the hell do I do now? It's like, well, you're not prepared for the game. Like, how would you not know or assume that that's what's going to happen? That's what Spurs are going to do.
He said as well, it's like, we've been preparing all week to play this way, and then now we have to change. So we have to wait for Spurs to press us before we then change. And it's like, no, you don't. Yeah. If you still want to play short, you can drop 2 guys into the box, play short. Yeah. Like, it's the biggest load of crap excuse to then just deflect. And, like, I'm glad it came back to bite them really badly, but it still is just, it shows that these managers of these teams, and I understand that they don't have the squad that we have or other teams have, but it shows how like aware they are of what they are doing, and they can't just play stupid. Yeah, totally. I mean, to take his perspective from like a, I guess, PR standpoint, like if you were fans of Sheffield and the game played out the way that it did and your team lost in the last, 2 minutes of extra time, you're probably going to want to find a villain somewhere, and that might be the manager. And so as a manager, if you are then like, it's everyone else, and I'm so angry about how hard done by we are, I can see the purpose of doing that. Yeah, definitely. But it was so unhinged that I was like, this doesn't seem like this is a decision. This is just you're nuts. Like, yeah, and I think compare it to say like Ange would not talk like that. No. He wouldn't deflect to that. He wouldn't. Ange wouldn't do that to us. He wouldn't do that. Fast forward a week to the North London Derby. We're so glad that Ange like turned it around and like called Arteta a dickhead. Like, I mean, that would be awesome. That would be great. Yeah. But yeah, that was fascinating as well. My favourite moment, aside from the goals, I guess, was when Maddison and Basuma, as soon as the second goal went in, went, oh, I've got cramp. Fell over. And then Ange screaming, get up! Yeah, get up! Which was, for me, perfect. And Maddison gave a little cheeky grin as well when he did it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. The cramps come in. Gosh, so funny. I think it was Bogle. Was that the guy who was doing it a couple of times for Sheffield until he went off? And it's just like, come on. Yeah. Come on. But that's so, I love that Maddison has this like cheekiness to him. Yeah. Because it's so fun. And I think like we spoke about with the Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
Was it Bournemouth?
Yeah, I think it was. What was it, Burnley?
Burnley? It could have been Burnley.
Yeah.
Where he moved the ball out of the... Maybe it was Burnley.
No, that was Bournemouth. Yeah.
Bournemouth. So many cheeky Maddison moments.
Oh, God, which one do we pick?
And when he did, like, they were giving him shit and he moves it out on purpose. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, and then he gives them, like, a grin and everything. And they're like, oh, yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Maddison is so good, but then also has that attitude to him. So it's not just like he's a rubbish player, but then makes up for it, which we would still appreciate as fans. But I think across the league, you couldn't appreciate it as much. But it's like, I love just seeing players who are exceptional, have some sort of personality, and not just go shut down into robot mode.
Yeah. It's unique almost to have a player like him and to be as good as him that isn't in robot mode, where it's like he experiences the game not in this like hyper-focused, weird mannequin, where it's like he's experiencing it and reacting to it as if he's like watching it at home. It's fascinating.
Well, it's like understanding the whole theatre of it and how that plays into things too. And I feel like we've wanted a little bit from... not to talk about he who shall not be mentioned, who has left recently to go to Munich. But like, you know, he was so like Harry so often was like devoid of those sort of emotions in those moments. And it's like I think you want something like that to be able to get behind.
Yeah, totally. And you know, if you watch tennis, like at the elite end of the game, a lot of those players will be quite robotic, like Worm Man, who left for Munich, you know, in the way that they sort of do things, and it creates a sense of control, and that's sort of their procedure for how they perform at the level that they do. But it really isn't common anymore for players to, sure, they might have that, but they've also got this like very clear personality as well. I love him. And, you know, like you said, he appreciates the theatre because he's a theatre kid, Maddison. He's a theatre kid. He
was in all the school plays.
He's currently doing Death of a Salesman. And he
on the West End?
Yeah, on the West End. He plays Biff, and it's quite a performance. It's quite a performance.
Now, I am not familiar with Death of a Salesman. So Biff, is that, what's Biff's character?
Biff is the son of Willie Loman. Willie Loman is the old sort of salesman, and Biff is his son who sort of Willie feels he never lived up to his potential. Yeah. And he's returned home. And he's got the big monologue in it that's sort of the famous one where it's like, I work for $1 an hour, Willie. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's playing him, and it's, you know, it's dynamic, it's new, it's contemporary. He really brings London to this American play.
This just made me think, like, I would love it if we found out that like half of the Spurs team had a theatre group that they like did plays for the rest of the training ground, like how kids perform for their parents and things like that.
This week, the Crucible Junior.
And then it's just like, I would just love that idea. It's like, everyone, you're going into the canteen after double session?
Yeah.
Come on, we're doing the Crucible.
We're doing, a really long play about McCarthyism.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see Maddison doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, he's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it. He appreciates the theatricalities. He's currently sort of working towards putting on Hamilton.
Yeah.
I've heard. You know?
That's where like all the additional transfer budget is going. Mm-hmm. It's Maddison just on Levy's door just the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, look, I know we've been talking about a centre-back, but we just need this much more to do Hamilton.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Mr. Daniel. Alexander Hamilton.
We'll give you a part. We'll give you a part, Daniel.
Mr. Daniel, we could use the skywalk, whatever you want.
Do you want to be the king? You can be the king.
You can be imagine that. Whee.
Skywalk. A reimagining of Hamilton set on the skywalk.
Oh, I'd say it for sure.
You'd be sitting in the stadium and it's just so far away.
Yeah, you can't hear. It's too windy as well. Like.
And what's that? Oh, it's just Emerson and Madison doing Hamilton up there.
Emerson and see, it's built in.
Yeah,
that sounds like who are the That sounds like a song from Hamilton.
Emerson and Madison. And...
Yeah, because there's someone called Madison in it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But if anyone's complaining about transfers, that's where it's going.
Yeah.
It's going to a good cause.
Yeah, exactly. A really good cause. And after that, they'll be doing Wicked.
Yeah.
So...
And I hear Fraser Forster really wants to play the witch.
Yeah, he does. He wants to do Defying Gravity because he spends, he's a big guy. He really wants to feel what it's like to fly.
Yes.
So
who'd be the director of all this?
Who would be the director of all this? Michael Dawson.
That's the real reason. The real reason he's been brought back.
Yeah,
it's not to do like the official Spurs podcast.
No,
it's to run the private theatre group at the training ground.
Yeah. Guys, I really need you to drop in today. Yeah. Like drop into your bodies, all right? Come on, those voices, big open mouths.
That second act, we need more of that offside trap to come in.
Yeah.
So when we're stepping out, we're not in a line. We got to get that real nice and tight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, the game.
The game, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, yep, of course. Just something which I found hilarious in the game footage, which someone had posted up on Twitter when Sheffield scored. Did you see this? One of their fans fell over the end of a stand and was like rolling down the pride flag.
It's so dangerous. Oh my God.
And it's like, it looks like they did not intend to do this.
Yes.
But the clips online, it's so funny. Because whoever clipped it, it show you see it initially and you don't really notice it. And then they show really zoomed in on that corner and it is so funny to see
my God.
I hope they were not hurt.
Yeah. I'm sure they would have been fine.
Yeah.
I know they would have been fine. How do I know that? Well, that's another podcast.
That's going to be on the Patreon.
That's good. That's the Patreon content.
Patreon only.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Ndoggy's game?
Doggy? Yeah, I thought he was... I thought he was good. The standard for him is so high. Like, he gave the ball away early a couple of times, but he's got... I don't know. There's like a buffer zone because he's been so good that I was like, meh. Yeah, I thought he was pretty good.
I think Ndoggy is the best player we've had. If anyone hasn't seen, this is Tim Sherwood, who's on, I think, one Match of the Day or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's talking about Spurs, the second goal, and he's like, and Ndoggy gets it, puts it into Kulusevski, and he scores. And we're just like, if he's talking about Ndoggy... There's also like 3 other players that he touches before. So who's Ndoggy?
Yeah. That's what he calls quite a group of players.
Yeah.
Doggy, that's what he means.
It's easier to do the punditry by putting players into groups.
Yeah, so this group of players is called Ndoggy. Yeah. This group of players is called Embryo. This group of players is called Cortex. Wait a minute.
They're just like, Tim, it's so hard for anyone else to work with you because you just keep talking about how Cortex has got to flow better with Ndoggy and Embryo. It makes no sense.
Oh, well, they're going to hate it when I introduce Crash and Coco then, aren't they? Mm-hmm.
I could go back to talking about how I gave Harry Kane his opportunity.
Yeah, no. Oh,
no.
God,
all right, fine, Cortex, let's do a graphic.
Yeah. Yeah, he just groups players. He doesn't really see individuals. He just sees groups of uns.
Yeah. It sounds like as well, it's like someone who he's paid to be there, but he's not even watching the games as they're happening. So when they're like, Tim, cut to the Spurs news. And he's like, oh, shit. Ndoggy gave it to Kulusevski and he scored.
Every time he's on any show as a pundit, that is exactly how it is. It's like, and Tim, cut to him, and he's like, fuck. And then just spews out some absolute tripe that you're just like, what? How is that even related to what's going on? What are you saying? What are you saying, man? I do like it on our theory that it's groups of players N, because in science, if you're referring to say like a sample of people or animals, or whatever, you'd say N equals 6, say.
Yeah.
And so he's got N equals Doggy is one. Which, does he mean canines? Does he mean the sexual position? Is that what he's saying? Who knows?
So this is going to come out that he's going to be like, it was a higher level reference.
Yeah, exactly. I've been reading some fantastic journals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Science journals.
Science journals. Beautiful stuff. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could talk about it on air, but I just panic whenever they throw to me and...
And the inner voice is, today, Tim, now's the chance.
Yeah, now's the chance. Show them your intelligence.
And doggy! Oh, my God. Idiot with such passion, too.
Yeah, idiot with such passion. My God. My God. The angriest dad.
The angriest dad.
Mm.
But you wouldn't know what he means. That's why he's so angry all the time. Like, the kids are like, just tell us what you mean.
Yeah.
And it's like, bathroom and potluck.
What? Are we there yet, Dad? In speed.
Just get our jail card for every situation, just to throw it in.
Yeah.
And he's like, it means and. So you just fill in the gaps before.
What?
What? It doesn't.
There's 16 words before it.
Guess him.
Yeah, guess him. Go on. Yeah, my God, he's something else.
He's absolutely something else.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of something else, we should touch on lightly the fact that we have the reigning Premier League Player of the Month and the reigning Premier League Manager of the Month.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Ange doesn't succumb to the curse.
Yeah, the curse. Oh my God, when he got it, I was like, oh no.
Yep.
Yeah,
we've been here before.
Yeah, I saw a clip of a journalist asking him. It was he was like, "Congratulations, Ange, on winning Premier League Manager of the Month. Do you know the last person that won it that was manager of Spurs? They were sacked by October or November or something." And he was like, "What a backhanded compliment that!" Jesus. And it was hilarious because what are you doing as a journalist?
Yeah.
So well done on this thing, but you actually might lose everything soon. Does it balance out for you? Like,
I feel like eventually they're just gonna have tried all their tactics, and they're just gonna be like, you know what, guys, he's just a good guy.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just be, let's just be nice.
Maybe we should ask questions that gather us information.
Maybe ask questions that make him look intelligent.
Yeah.
Rather than he got asked, do you know who Robbie Williams is?
Yeah.
And I think he responded to that and he's like, asking me questions like, I haven't been living under a rock, mate.
Yeah.
It's like he still is treated, because he's so just nice and amicable and he's got that, Aussie, they still don't take him as a serious tactician.
No.
And so they're still talking to him like he is just this guy down at the pub, sitting at the end of the bar who just wants to have a chat with everyone and just being really nice.
Yeah.
I still don't think he gets the respect for how he's turned his team around, how we're playing, and just how good he is in terms of his tactical side, his man management, everything, the culture that he's helping set too. He still just gets these stupid questions like he's an oaf.
Yeah, he does. He gets oaf questions. And I wonder whether he, maybe given how tactically astute and smart he is, whether that actually suits him quite well. Because if you just get questions like, do you know who Kylie Minogue is? Yeah. What colour's the sky? Yeah. Stuff like that. That means you can just sort of be like, mate, come on. And it's like, I don't have to talk about, football stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to break it down in front of this audience who are like vultures. It kind of works. And I wonder whether part of this is pure theorizing, that they're like, come on, mate, is kind of trying to reinforce that so that the journalists continue to sort of ask him. He's got a character in the media, a very subtle one, so that he can avoid having to deal with whatever else other managers might have to deal with.
Yeah, I'd say there's definitely something to that. When you see actors doing their, going on their presses and it's they're doing their, 50th interview for the day.
Yeah.
And, the interview that would be interesting to them at that stage is not going to be so tell us about your character at the start of the film.
Yeah.
It's going to be more do you want pineapple on pizza? What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. Mind you, they probably do get that quite a lot too.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's good. I feel a lot better about this Manager of the Month Because Nuno's, it was very much by like the skin of our teeth getting through.
Yeah.
Like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, turgid football.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, are we going to manage the month because there's no better options right now?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now it feels like, I think Ange deserves it. Like there are other people saying like, well, Pep deserves it because he's had like an unblemished record. Or even like David Moyes deserves it because of this. And Jared Bowen should have got player of the month and all this. And it's just like, no, Maddison has been incredible.
Yeah.
Ange has been incredible. Like, Pep should never win manager of the month because he's playing with a god team.
Yeah, exactly.
He should win like worst manager ever if he ever drops down from that.
Yeah, God, I want to see that happen. I want to see that happen so bad. Him having to play with like a bunch of old school footballers in League Two who were just like, but boss, why don't I just hoof it? Why don't I just hoof it up the field? No. Oh.
This sounds like a great movie that like if Man City like, you know what, we're going to get into movies. You know, we want to give Pep a bit more respect, show that he can do it with the lower leagues. So let's make a film. Let's make a motion picture about it. And it's like this convoluted story where like, you know, Man City everyone on the team bus gets lost. The bus has gone missing.
Yeah.
Pep wasn't on the bus though, and he just wants to manage.
Yeah.
And he just walks by this local League Two game, and they don't know what they're doing. They run around with their heads off, and then it's just this beautiful story of just how this manager is a tactical genius, and it becomes as much propaganda as the FIFA film was that had Sam Neill in it.
Yeah. I love the idea that Pep just wants to manage. Like, what's wrong, Pep? You're staring out the window there. You seem lost. And he's like, I just want to manage boys. I just want to manage to tell them what to do. And that's not his voice. Jesus.
No, but he's played by Gerard Depardieu in the film. Because Pep's busy. He's managing.
It's true. He's managing. He can't be in it. Yeah.
So Gerard Depardieu is starring as Pep in that.
But yeah, the idea of like, my desire is to manage is so funny to me.
Do you not want to wait and see if we can like locate the team bus?
No.
I must manage today.
You know, a vampire needs blood. I need to manage.
Yeah. Otherwise, I die.
Otherwise, I will die. Richarlison.
Oh, yeah. The feel-good story of the summer.
Make a movie about that, Man City. Yeah. And I want to tie this into a bit more Ange praise with, you know, Richarlison having a rough week, coming off for Brazil, being upset, and then saying, I'm going to, you know, go and get some psychological support. Great. And then Ange talking about it, I was like in awe. Because it wasn't like, I'm the first manager to talk about mental health in a press conference. Look how awesome I am. It was so just like kind and so I guess caring towards him, where he wasn't like, yeah, well, Charleston's pretty mentally fucked. So, you know, like it was just like, well, we all, you know, we'll have these experiences regardless of where we're at in terms of our success or whatever. And I'm not the person that, you know, is going to be the one to help. Like, he needs to see a professional who can do it better. I was like, oh my God.
And it feels like he normalized it in a sense too, because it was like all the players have issues, like, you know, there's stuff to work through and everything. So it was nice that while saying that, he didn't then blow it up as like this, you know, a bigger thing. It just seemed very much like normal day-to-day thing that he's in support of. Great.
Yeah. But yeah, and he didn't blow it up and be like, yeah, you know, I try and be there for him. My Pumbo.
My little Pombo.
Yeah, my little Pombo. I try and be there for him. He's crying all the time and I'm wiping his tears away. And yeah, hopefully we can get through it. You're right, just completely normalized. It was like everyone has things they need to work through. That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. But then Richarlison came on.
Pombo! Fly, Pombo, fly.
Scores a wonderful header and also gets the assist for the Kulusevski goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so nice. And like what I love about the header was that he really got to it and he Like, it was a well-taken header.
Yeah.
It wasn't like just he scuffed it or he like flicked it into a defender or something like that. Like, it really showed his strength. I think he's only scored headers for us.
Really?
Yeah, I think all the goals he scored for us, because the ones that he came on and scored in the Champions League, headers.
Yep.
I just think everything that he's actually scored that has counted has been a header.
Wow.
But then he scored one or two other ones which have been offside.
True.
But he's a Pombo.
Yep.
Need to say
That's what he does.
that.
That's what he does.
But it was great to see him get the assist too.
Yeah.
Because you feel like a player like that who has gone through a lot recently comes in, has this huge adrenaline rush after scoring this goal, might get a rush of blood to the head, try and score the winner on top of that.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to see him just like take half a second, play it through to Decky, and then Decky's just split through the legs.
Yeah. God, that was a good shot.
Wrong-footed the keeper.
Yeah.
And it was just scenes.
Mm-hmm. That was amazing. God, what a game. What a game.
So did you do this after the game? I was trying to watch it for as long as I could just to see the fans in the stadium and let that play out.
Yeah.
Because they play that song Freed from Desire, which I wasn't familiar with the name, but I'm like, I've heard this before. Is it on darts? Is it on something? And then someone on the Discord was like, oh, it's actually, it's been adopted as like a football term. And then you look it up and it's like 5 European national teams, I think, used it at the World Cup as their goal celebration song.
Oh.
And now we've seemed to be adopting that as part of our like post-winning ritual, where we'll have like Robbie Williams' Angels play, and everyone sings that out in unison, and then we get Freed from Desire, where everyone's just like limbs everywhere in the stadium. But it was like, I really had this moment watching this of like, I would give anything to be there right now and just experience. Like, it seems like such a vibe after the games.
Yeah. Well, I think. Who was it? I think it was Barney was saying on Extra In, she was talking about there are moments that make the new stadium feel more like home. And I was the same. It was maybe the first time in the new stadium that I've actually been like, oh, I wish I was there. Oh, this looks amazing. Like, you know, I mean, I've always wanted to go, but whatever was happening, like, looked so fun and looked like from, you know, half the world away. Like home, like that's the home stadium, which was really cool.
Yeah. I think on the Oso Spurs pod, I'm sorry, Barney, but I think three of them were at the game.
Were they? Were they just? After I just say, oh, I wish I could have gone. I bet they were there. Johnny, what was it, Cy?
Then Jimmy.
Yeah, great.
But just even hearing them just be like, oh yeah, we were all at the game, it just made me feel like, oh, like, I've never felt further away from Spurs, not in terms of connectedness, but just from distance, from the start of this season. Yeah. Of like, I want to be just there going each week so badly, whilst also feeling more connected to the club than we probably have been for 4 or 5 years now.
Totally. So subscribe to our Patreon. And send us to...
There's a new tier on there, which is airline tickets.
It's called airline tickets, yeah. And, you know, it's for the price of a lot of coffees. Buy us a lot of coffees, you know? I
do love that. Yeah, most times, like, for a price of a coffee, do this.
Yeah.
For the price of 5,000 coffees.
Yeah. Do this.
Do this. But I really want to get there. I don't know how it's possible for us to do that. But... even Basuma, I think he put in his Instagram after the game, I love my club. I love my teammates. I love our fans. I love the stadium. I just love Spurs official. Thank God for all this love. Come on, you Spurs.
Yeah. Wow. What an endorsement.
What like loves everything.
Yeah.
Club, teammates, our fans, stadium. Levy's like, good. Like
good.
Good. Last bit. Nice. Nicely done.
Next time you could say my name in there, but apart from that.
I love the skywalk. Yeah. I love my chairman.
My chairman. I love the new hotel. I saw the plans. They look awesome.
I love the golf course. I love
the go-karts.
But yeah, like you just see, like the players or the celebrations after the game. We have to quickly talk about that because seeing Sonny push like Richarlison up to the front, that almost made me emotional. Then, just being like, Sonny, you have taken this captaincy, and absolutely destroyed, like he's smashing it in a good way.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible because before he was announced, you might think, is Sonny like a bit quiet? Is he just a bit like of a joker around the things? But it's like he's just leading. Like he's my favorite Spurs captain I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love him. I think for me, I always think about I think it was under Nuno maybe. I can't remember when Harry was off playing golf with Gary Neville, and Sonny scored and grabbed the ball and was trying to get everyone to come back as quickly as possible. And that was a real sort of like, leadership thing that you could actually see. And here again, him pushing Richarlison forward was the same thing. It was like, he's good. He's good.
And then did you see the I think it was for Kulusevski's goal, the celebrations, which are from like the reverse angles showing the Spurs bench, and you just see like there's one shot where there's I think Veliz next to Bentancur, and Bentancur's got his like yerba mate, and he's like, ah! And like Veliz is on the boards, and he's like, ah! And then you see like Sonny hurdles over the top, the first row of the bench, and sprints and gets involved in the celebrations. Fraser Forster was next to him, jumps as well. Fraser like runs onto the pitch and just doesn't know what he's doing, and then turns around and walks back. But it's like the bench and just exploded and ran on to celebrate with everyone. And I think we didn't get the full picture of that initially just on the broadcast.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that reverse angle.
Yeah, it's so good just seeing like the fact that people aren't just like, yeah, okay, cool. Like unbelievable.
Can you see in that shot from like in a distance, you can just see like Vicario running. Like as he's running, like something from that movie It Follows.
Yeah,
it's like here he comes. I would love to see that.
Yeah, because you're right. Because Vicario pops in.
Yeah,
and you're like, how did he get? How did he get there so fast? What's going on?
Yeah, God, it was funny. I loved that it was so like hectic, the celebration, that it kind of split in two, and no one really knew what they were doing. Like it was They had their own little like pod. We had Cortex celebrating over Cortex. There. We had Embryo. We had Ndoggy. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were celebrating with whoever was nearest.
Yeah.
And just started forming these little clumps. But it's so good. Also just saying after every win, the fact that we are going over either to the away fans, and it seems to be a really concerted effort to go and do that. Ange goes over, whereas I know we've done that a little bit in the past, but it's maybe been one or two players doing it on their own accord.
Yeah,
but here it seems like it's really like a team unity type thing. Yeah, and we're like going over, and it's just like it's so nice to see that kind of engagement and connectiveness. And like all the away fans have been so loud. Throughout games as well.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know, but I think it's an Ange thing because you're right. It seems like something that's like, okay, we now together we all go and do that, and then Ange goes and does every time. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that's part of it. I imagine from hearing him speak to the team and how he sort of talks about the importance of fans and people that believe, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, makes sense to me.
Did you see there was a clip from a couple of weeks ago from Lyon, and it was after they lost like 4-1 to PSG, I think at home or something. And then it's a similar thing where obviously not with the celebrations, but the players are all in a line and they're facing like or it might have been away, but they're facing like the right up against the stands almost. And they've given a mic to like the lead of like the supporters group, and he's just tearing into them, giving them an absolute dressing down of like, you are shit. This is not like how we represent the club. You're the worst players, like there's no effort, da 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 da. And I was like, that's an interesting way to go.
Yeah.
I hope Ange doesn't do that on the flip side. Yeah. if we do have a stutter at some stage.
He's like, get the microphone out.
Yeah. Which supporter looks the angriest?
Yes, yeah.
Give it to you.
All right, turn the PA up. Yeah, wow, that's wild.
Yeah, that is something. Now to finish up, Barney, we've got a couple of quick questions to go through. So Viva Coys asks, please explain why it is impossible for us to win the league this year, and also why we totally could.
Please explain why it's impossible that we could. So
why is it impossible? But also
possible.
Could we?
Could we win the league? Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah. I guess.
I think we could.
We could.
I think we could.
We could. But I don't think we will.
No, but we could.
But we could. But I don't think we will because of Pep Guardiola's $1 million team.
No, that's
$1 million
true.
team.
$1 million team.
Man City whole team. That cost $1 million.
See, this is from his film where they've gone into League Two. It's like, Pep, you've only got $1 million to spend here.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What the hell? What can I buy without a coffee?
Yeah.
Pep, come on. This is the real world now.
Can I bring Rui Costa out of retirement? I don't know.
What the hell?
I think, see, this is interesting because, like, Ange was asked the same thing in the post-match. And Ange was like, look, it's not my job to, like, tell the fans not to get carried away. Like, get carried away, dream what you want, like, do that. That's part of being a fan. And then it's up to us to sort of match those expectations. And I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah.
Thank God. Compared to when Conte was asked if we could win the league and he laughed.
Yeah.
Tottenham?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And you're like, I just love Ange's like, he doesn't play that down.
Yeah.
That question of like, could we win the league? He's like, mate, why not? Like, let's, go on this, but have fun. Have fun as a fan believing that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I want us to win the league. I believe that we could, but I don't think we will.
Oh, it's like if someone said, put money on it right now. Do you think we're going to win? It's like that Man City juggernaut is very challenging to overcome.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we kind of could. We kind of could.
We could.
We kind of could. I think we need to reinforce a little bit in January. But it's not out of the realms of possibility. We'd probably just need to get a bit lucky with injuries and have like Haaland maybe like snap both hamstrings or something.
Yeah.
But we could. I think we could.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're not City to win the league, any team needs a lot of things to happen for them, like or not happen, injuries, and other things need to happen with other clubs, or we never have that ref any of our games ever again. Like there are things that need to sort of. But part of that I think is with what Anne said about, which I totally agree with. It's like, why would he be like, guys, no? It's like, well, that's part of being a fan, as he said. But that kind of momentum is something that sort of carries. It seems to be associated, rightly or wrongly, with those kind of things happening, where it's like we've got the momentum as is, so things just sort of start falling into place. Who knows? Maybe we get smacked this week.
Oh, we might. But I think it's like there's so much talk around, like positive psychology reinforcing things, and players do all this work to build themselves up and think that they can conquer the world. And so it just kind of makes sense that like if you're trying to like unite everyone and everything, that you go like, if we're trying to change the mentality at the club, the culture at the club, why shouldn't we go in believing that we can achieve all these things?
Exactly.
Because like even if we fall short, I think that's the problem. It's like even if we fall short, it doesn't matter. So it's like you shouldn't not have that belief because you're just worried of falling short. And then what will people think if we thought we could do it and we didn't? Yeah. But I'm like, if we just keep that belief going, that's a lot more. That's going to like build up over time.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fans getting on board and thinking that, I'm like, great, so much better than just like moaning about every single thing. If we're suddenly like, could we win the league? Yep. Hell yeah. I'm like, that's so much more pleasant than
totally
than what it's been recently.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And it's not like we have to win, like you were saying. It's like, but we
could.
We could. We could. Yeah.
We have another question here from Rafe from the Discord. Do you think Sheffield will go down this season? God, I hope so.
Don't know. I don't know enough of it. I don't know. Honestly, it would be a complete guess. Yeah. I don't know enough about them.
I think it's really hard to tell because it feels like all of these sort of, say, take the bottom third of Premier League teams. They all sort of seem just similar in my mind in terms of like how they play. Like they're not really sitting back so much. They're kind of trying to press teams a bit more now. I think Burnley are going to definitely go down if they don't change.
Yep.
Sheffield, though, I can see them getting some results. Their forward, is it McBurney? I think he would be okay as a backup forward to have. But he's not going to carry, necessarily keep them in the league. He's not that good. But, as a backup squad player, great. It just seems like they've got a lot of hardworking players and they'll probably be battling to stay up. But then again, we're not a Sheffield United podcast, which it felt like we were listening to a Sheffield United podcast with the commentators.
Yeah.
And F and a Koku. It's a cruel game, football.
Yeah, cruel, terrible game. The heroes get killed often.
Yeah. Oh, no, for the Blades. Oh, bad. And you're like, shut up, Everett. Let us have this thing. We have one more question here. Vancan asks, I've been hearing and seeing a lot about Veliz. Can someone explain who he is, what his role is, and why he joined the club?
Veliz he's a man that was born on the seas. A pirate, some might call him. Others, a hero. Really depends on what side of the war you're on. He would sail between islands, looting treasure, but also occasionally freeing populations of individuals under duress. And he's eventually sailed up the Thames, opened up a barber shop on Fleet Street. And
tasty pies they
have there. He started he's involved with the person downstairs making the pies. That person is not yet cast, but the barber themselves, Liz, that role will be played by James Madison in the latest production. They've got a lot on the go at the moment.
They've got a lot
on the go.
Yeah, he has not been brought in to play any football.
No.
He has been brought in to join the Tottenham Hotspur Theatre Company.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to do multi-plays.
Exactly. They're trying to have something going on the main stage. Then they've got more experimental works in the studio. It's a full-time operation.
I just love this idea. It's like, right, we're doing Sweeney Todd. We just don't think anyone in the squad can play. So I think we're going to have to go to Argentina.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to Argentina and get this Veliz.
Yeah.
No, give the real answer.
Well, Veliz is a young striker. I feel like a part of me was thinking as well, like this person accidentally sent it to us instead of the extra inch.
Yeah.
This question. But from what I know of Veliz, young striker, has played in the Argentina, I think under 21, something like that. Hard working, hard running, hard pressing, very good in the air with his head, and seems to be a player who will kind of be integrated sooner than we thought, because Ange has also said now that he's kind of available from now. Yeah. When initially we were hearing it would be a little while, but I think that's because he came with an injury. So I've only seen a few clips of him playing, and he looks like he's got a good head on him, good finisher. Yeah. But still very young. But if the way he was celebrating on the bench, he's already fully coys.
He's fully coys. Great. Well, thank you for that. Choose your answer.
I would choose your answer. To be honest.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great.
I like that one.
Okay. Well, thank you. I choose yours.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problems. Well, that's us, isn't it? Yeah. That's a bit Spursy for this week. We've got a game this weekend, a certain game.
Against the, I was going to say the Death Star.
The Death Star.
Who the Empire.
The Empire, yeah.
It is the Empire, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Empire.
I know they're not called the Death Star in Star Wars. We are the Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
But we're playing at the Death Star.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing at the Red Hole.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
This could be a neutral watching this game could have the time of their lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this. Mm-hmm. I think we're probably geared up to be okay in this because we're definitely going to concede.
Yep.
But we are definitely going to score. And any team that is going to play against us, I think, are going to win.
I wonder if it'll be, the North London derby's always sort of talked about as this really exciting, high-scoring, mental game. And then it sort of hasn't been that. It's been 1-0s and 1-1s and 2-2s, and maybe this will be the return to the bananas, 5-4s or whatever.
Yeah. Because playing Conte and Jose ball there, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was pretty grim. And Nuno ball, wow.
Oh.
We're going to play with no midfield today. Yeah. Boss, shut up. No midfield.
No midfield. Let's see how this goes.
I bet it'll be interesting to see us just actually go there and really try and take it to them. And with a squad who they're up for it, I think they'll be wanting to prove that they are actually title contenders.
Yeah, yeah.
And a win away at Arsenal would do a lot there.
Yeah.
And then I know he's getting ahead, but then also a win against Liverpool. Suddenly then I think maybe that starts getting a little bit more credit of like, all right, maybe something is actually brewing here.
Yeah.
But these are the two big games we have coming. What's your prediction for the Arsenal game?
I don't know. I just feel sick. We've got to go to the Lego Trump's house. Have you read any of that stuff about him doing that keeper swap out and it being to do with the fact that Arteta's like far right?
Wait, what's this with Ramsdale and David Raya?
Yeah.
Wait, no,
he dropped Ramsdale, and apparently it was because Ramsdale is quite progressive in his views. This is what I was reading. And Arteta is like full on far right, fascist.
Is this like Spurs political fan fiction?
I didn't fact check any of it because I was just like, yeah, I believe it.
I would love it so much if that was actually the case.
It was all around that interview with the reporter being like, oh, it's something. And then Arteta's like, what number is, and says, and what are you saying? I'm asking you a different question. He's like, number 6, because there's more than one player. It's just, he's so evil.
Yeah. More jobs for, you're like, what?
What the hell? Yeah, I can't stand him. God, I hate him.
So are they playing Raya at the moment or Ramsdale?
I don't know if any of what I said is true.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't tell you.
Maybe on the weekend they're lining up with both.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Well, I mean, there's more than one player in a squad. You can play 2 goalkeepers if you want.
I wonder if that's like anyone's ever tried to do that. Like, I mean, I know that they wouldn't be able to use their hands, but be like, let's just put another keeper there who can kind of like Michael Dawson, just run around, just try and block things, but just like not use their hands a little bit.
Yeah.
Like take real defensive football to a whole nother level.
Yeah. I think it would go really badly.
I think it would go so badly.
Yeah.
That's what Pep's got to work with in his
yeah. Oh my God,
film.
in his movie. Yeah. Wow. What a film. What do I think? I don't know. I mean, I would just want to say we'll win.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that.
I think it'll be high scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 4-3, something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Romero could be up for a red. He's been such a good boy.
He has.
Such a good boy. Not even a yellow.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's happened.
An angel.
An absolute angel.
Yeah.
But now he may put someone in hospital. Who knows?
True, hopefully. Not the red, but the hospital bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's Arteta. Again, no, I don't. I don't actually. No, yes.
We're not a violent podcast here.
Yeah, I am. I'm a violent podcast. Thank you very much for listening or watching. If you like what you hear, you can jump on our Discord where we've got a very lively, a bit Spursy metal debate going on in terms of votes and who's voting for who and whatever.
Yeah. So basically everyone who jumps on, and we've got the match day chat going.
Yep.
Everyone who jumps on there, we chat throughout the game.
Yep.
And then afterwards we pop our votes for player of the season. And you'll never guess who's leading that. You're going to have to go on the Discord and check.
You'll never guess.
You'll never guess which few players could be in that.
Goodbye.